Hey, it's Michael Griswold. I want you to grab a pen real quick because I got something to teach you that is going to be really valuable for you in your relationships. I'll give you a minute so you can grab a pen and paper. Okay, in this video, I want to share with you one letter, two words, and three syllables that will completely revolutionize the way that you deal with conflict in your relationships. Obviously, anybody who's in a relationship is going to have conflict, and we need to have the proper skills in order to know how to deal with it effectively. The good thing is, once you know how to deal with conflict well, every conflict you have ends up being something that brings you closer together, almost like glue that binds you closer rather than something that makes you bang your heads against each other and drives you apart. So, the one letter is you. And this is the person that you want to focus on when you're in a conflict. You know, it's so easy, isn't it, to be focused on me and what do I want in a conflict. But when that happens, it's kind of like this. Here's you, here's the person you love, and each one of you is pulling on the rope trying to get your point across. In that situation, obviously, there's no way to make progress because neither one of you wants to give ground. So the one letter to keep in mind is you. And that reminds you to focus on you. Who are you talking to? What is their point of view? And when you think of this one letter, you want to go from where you are and come around to their side of the table and see it from their perspective. See, and this is important, what hurt their feelings. A lot of times in relationships and in conflict, people don't open up and tell you what hurt their feelings. But if you know that, then you can go a great deal distance farther in getting closer as a result. So that's the one letter. The one letter is you. The two words that you want to know are, you're right. Those two words can save you more heartache than just about anything else in your relationship. Because when you say you're right, it's like hearing the best news ever. Everyone wants to be right. And if you're in a conflict and each person is fighting for their point of view, when you say you're right, it instantly wins an ally. It wins you a friend. And when you say you're right, the other person is so much more likely to come around to your side of thinking because you've been generous, you've been gracious, and people like to reciprocate. So when you say you're right, well, then that gives them the opportunity to bring their defenses down. And as a result, gives them the opportunity to be more open to you. So the letter is you, the one letter is you, the two words are you're right. I'm going to tell you the three syllables in just a minute. First, I want you to know that these three principles are the same ones that many of my clients use every day in their relationships to make them the way that they want to be, to avoid those knockdown, drag-out fights, and instead to have every opportunity in the relationship to bring themselves closer together. So you've got the one letter, you've got the two words, the three syllables are compromise. Now, I put this apart from the first two because compromise is something you want to avoid. A lot of times people think that they should compromise, but what this does is it ends up giving neither party what they really want. When two people compromise, both parties give in and don't get what they really want. Compromise is at the root of so much conflict. And you can think back even now in your own relationship and think about how you've compromised and regretted it. How the person that you've loved has compromised and regretted it. And then we resent that person and we want to work a way out of these compromises. So what do you do if you're not supposed to compromise? Well, what you're supposed to do instead is stand up for what you want. See, oftentimes when there's a conflict, there's two people who are fighting for only one option. And then you end up compromising, neither one of you really winning, and then end up both of you losing. Instead of doing that, you both fight for what you want because that's the way that you win. Now, this doesn't mean you fight each other. You focus on the one word and the two syllables. You focus on you and you get, where are you coming from? What's important to you? And you focus on your right, which is understanding that all of their emotions are valid and important to them. And here's what happens. Here's what happens. When you are willing to focus on the other person, when you're willing to say you're right, then instead of compromising, you get to do something else. You get to create. You get to create a new option, which didn't exist before, which means you guys get to go off into uncharted territory together. Now here's the beautiful thing about uncharted territory together. You have to be close. You have to lean on each other, because if neither one of you knows where you're going, you're really going to lean on that other person. This is why conflict can end up being the thing that makes you so much closer than you ever were before, and you don't ever have to be afraid of it, ever again. Anytime there's a conflict, instead of feeling that pang in your chest or that sinking stomach feeling, you can feel excitement because you can think, this is going to bring us closer and send us off in a direction that we would have never gone before. A direction that is fun and creative. And it gets you out of that rut of just doing the same thing over and over, which is what happens to so many couples. Now listen, this is all a part of a program that I've created called Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue. And I want to let you know about Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue and how it can help you. You see, Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue is a series of 6 videos that walk you through exactly how to put these ideas and many more into practice so that in every opportunity, you and the person that you love are coming closer rather than being split apart. Obviously, this is invaluable because every person, every couple ends up having conflict. The question is, how do you deal with it? Well, in Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue, you discover how to deal with conflict in the most powerful way possible, and it gives you the great strength to be closer as a result of it. Now, Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue can be yours today for not $197, which is the retail price, but as a special offer because you're going to join this webinar, you can get it for only $97. You can click on the link below right now to get your copy. It will be sent to you automatically, and it'll be an automatic download. You can start watching it today and start putting it into practice as soon as this evening. Of course, if you don't like it for any reason, you can get your money back. It's no big deal. But my commitment to you is to help you in every way I can to create the relationship that I know you want. And because relationships are important to you, I know that being able to have tools to help you in conflict is worth way more than whatever you pay for it. So click on the link below so that you can get your copy of Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue, not for $197, but for the dramatically discounted price of only $97. When you do, you'll be sent to a payment page where you can fill in your credit card details. And after that, you'll get Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue delivered to your email address automatically. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for anything to come in the mail, and you can start watching it today. And if there's any conflict that you have with your friends, with your lovers, with your parents, it works in every situation. So just imagine now the confidence that that gives you, even at work. The confidence it gives you to stand up for yourself, to not have to compromise, and to give yourself the chance to win in all relationships in life. So click on the link below right now so that you can get your copy of Conflict Resolution Crazy Glue. Bye-bye.